Oh, honey, grab your tea and hold on to your pearls, because what I'm about to spill is juicier than a season finale of The Crown. Turns out, Queen Elizabeth wasn't just quietly sipping Earl Grey behind those palace gates. She was fuming, like boiling rage in a diamond-encrusted teapot levels of furious. And it wasn't because of politics or the weather. Nope, it was Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, and a storm of betrayal that rocked Buckingham Palace to its royal core. Word on the inside, and I mean the real inside, is that the late Queen was absolutely livid with Meghan. Not annoyed, not even politely disappointed. We're talking straight up betrayed, disgusted, and heartbroken. And this drama didn't explode overnight, oh no. It was years in the making. Let's rewind. While the world watched with awe as Meghan joined the royal family, Queen Elizabeth was watching something else. Something darker. According to Lady Colin Campbell, yes, that Lady C who doesn't hold back, the Queen saw Meghan as a master manipulator. Someone who saw the crown not as a duty, but a stepping stone. Someone who wrapped Prince Harry around her finger and used royal privilege like a fashion accessory. And darling, it gets messier. Lady C didn't just make this up for headlines. These whispers were flying around the palace halls among people the Queen trusted. The bombshell? The Queen refused to take a single official photo with Meghan and Harry's children. Not even one. Think about that. The woman who understood symbolism better than anyone else on the planet, who lived and breathed protocol, deliberately avoided pictures with Archie and Lilibet. Not because she forgot, not because of scheduling, but because she wanted to send a message. You are not part of my trusted circle anymore. And just when you think it couldn't get any worse, enter the Oprah interview. The moment that sent shockwaves through every chandelier in Windsor Castle. That sit-down didn't just rattle the royal image, it cracked it. Accusations of racism were hurled at the family, but no names were given. It painted everyone with suspicion and made the Queen, the woman who reigned for 70 years, look like the head of a toxic, discriminatory household. Let me tell you something. When the Queen said recollections may vary, it wasn't just a casual clapback. That was her version of a flamethrower. Behind the scenes, even harsher. Words like operator were floating around. Yep, meaning Meghan was seen as someone who played the game, used her looks, her charm, her sob story, and flipped Harry against the very institution that raised him. One insider didn't mince words. They called Meghan a scrubber with a shady past. I know, right? Harsh. But it gets deeper. The Queen, that stoic, composed icon, was said to be gutted when Harry sided with Meghan. She felt like he'd slit her throat with a smile, all while she was battling cancer, barely able to walk or see clearly. Can you imagine? You're in your 90s, your health is failing, and your grandson, the one you cuddled as a baby, is on American TV dragging your life's work through the mud? And then, as if the drama hadn't reached peak season, Meghan and Harry started telling the press they had intimate access to the Queen. Girl. According to palace aides, she was actually avoiding them like the plague. And that lie? That one infuriated her. It wasn't just deceitful, it was disrespectful. Sources say she felt used, like a prop in Meghan and Harry's PR machine. And the betrayal? It chilled her soul. That's an actual quote from someone who spoke with her. Chilled her soul. Let that sink in. Oh, but wait. Here comes the cherry on top, the surrogacy rumors. You know the ones. The whispers that Meghan didn't carry Lilibet. According to Lady C, this wasn't just gossip over tea. The Queen was reportedly outraged by how the whole situation was handled. Publicly, she stayed silent. Of course, she had to. She was the head of the Church of England after all. But privately, she called the whole mess a circus. She believed the dignity of the crown had been dragged through every tabloid gutter on earth. Meghan treating royal traditions like some outdated joke didn't help either. Those tiaras and titles meant something to the Queen. Meghan, she acted like they were glittery props for a Netflix trailer. Behind closed doors, the Queen supposedly compared Meghan and Harry's relationship to a fast car with no brakes. That is brutal. But honestly, accurate. And that whole naming their daughter Lilibet thing, don't even get me started. The Queen saw that as straight up manipulation, a PR stunt, a way to soften their image right after torching the royal family on primetime TV. And baby, she was not about to reward that with a photo op. Oh no, not even close. So where were we? Ah yes, Meghan and Harry had just named their daughter Lilibet, and the Queen was not having it. Behind that composed face and perfect wave was a woman seething in silence. Because to her that name wasn't a tribute, it was a manipulation tactic, a PR move, a velvet-wrapped dagger in the back. Sources say the Queen was absolutely stunned. You don't get to torch the family on international TV and then turn around and name your child after the family matriarch like it's all fine and dandy. That felt to her like emotional blackmail, sweet sounding but poisoned underneath.
She didn't speak out. Of course not. She was the Queen, but her silence was louder than words. No photo. No smiling portrait with baby Lilibet. No royal welcome, just chilling quiet. A message to the world. I see through this, and I do not approve. And can we talk about the real heartbreak here? This wasn't just the Queen versus Meghan. It was about Harry, her beloved grandson, the little boy who once tugged at her handbag during royal tours, who made her laugh during dreary meetings, who she'd loved like her own son. According to insiders, she didn't just feel abandoned. She felt betrayed. Deeply. Devastatingly. In her final months, frail, barely mobile, her eyesight fading, the Queen was forced to watch Harry, her Harry, join forces with a woman she never truly trusted and turn against the family. Against her. And darling, it hurt her. Sobbing to the bone. One royal friend said it plainly. Watching the Oprah interview felt like seeing the Queen get stabbed in the back while already on her knees from illness. Now that is a visual. And remember, while that interview aired, Prince Philip was dying. Literally on his deathbed. The timing? Annoyed. Cruel doesn't even begin to describe it. Let's talk about the racism accusations Meghan made. The entire royal family was thrown under the bus without naming names. And that's what made the Queen boil over. Because if you accuse someone of such a serious offense, say who. Otherwise, it hangs over everyone, like a storm cloud, including the Queen herself, who spent decades shaping an image of inclusivity and grace. Suddenly, the world was side-eyeing her. Her. That crossed a line she never thought Harry would allow to be crossed. But he didn't stop it. He sat right there and nodded along. And the Queen? She felt stripped of dignity. All those years of loyalty, of duty, reduced to headlines and accusations. Insiders say she was left humiliated. Not politically, but personally. A woman who survived world wars, political scandals, even the chaos of Diana's death, was now gasping for air under a media firestorm started by her own flesh and blood. And just when she needed peace, in her twilight, with cancer eating away at her bones, she got this. Not rest, not love, but betrayal on a global scale. Some courtiers say she referred to Harry as unrecognizable. The fun, cheeky, beloved prince she once knew had vanished. What was left? A man full of grievance, bitterness, and an ego swollen by California spotlights. And that broke her heart. Even Prince William, who's always played the calm, composed heir, was reportedly devastated. Not just by the fallout, but by what it did to his grandmother. According to friends, he and Kate watched the Queen's final years turn into a media circus, not because of war or politics, but because of Harry's personal crusade. And to them, Meghan was the match that one insider said annoyed William saw Meghan's arrival as the beginning of Harry's transformation and not for the better. She came in like a whirlwind, and soon enough Harry was alienated, angry, and weaponizing his trauma for Netflix specials. And yes, the aristocratic circles started whispering, Wallace Simpson too. The American divorcee who brought down a king. The whispers got louder. Let them go. Let them do their podcasts, their documentaries, their glamorous photo shoots, but keep them far from the crown, because the damage had been done, and cleaning it up would only invite more chaos. That's the mood inside the firm now. Silent, cold, but decisive. Meghan and Harry? Exiled by behavior, not decree. And as for the Queen, her closest allies, the ones who never dared speak out while she lived, are now breaking their silence. They say the truth matters more than ever. Because behind the tiaras and stately carriages was a woman who gave her whole life to a country, to an institution, and to her family, and died feeling discarded by one of her own. And maybe the most haunting part of all this? She welcomed Meghan with open arms. She really tried. Christmas invitations, royal engagements, the full treatment. But in return,
she got betrayal, bitterness, and a press tour that shattered her legacy. And she knew it. She saw the headlines, the smears, the manipulation. She felt the weight of 70 years unraveling, not at the hands of a foreign power, but from within her own bloodline. That's why she made her final move silent but sharp. No photos, no illusions of closeness, no co-signing of their narrative, because she didn't want history to remember her as a queen who stood beside betrayal. Behind her legendary pearls and gentle smile was a woman heartbroken, but not blind. She saw what was happening, and though she never shouted, she sent her message loud and clear, thoughtful. Don't believe everything you see, and never mistake silence for weakness. Take silence for weakness.